We're super excited that you have joined us live today. Stephanie, Laynes, and I are going to really motivate you and inspire you to take action today to what you could do in your business right now to generate money. Does that sound good to you guys?
I hope it does. We all could use it.
I know. Like, who's over it? Just tell me who is over it right now as far as like, okay, like I'm just ready to either get back in the room. I'm ready to do something different. I get it. Like you're just ready. You're just ready.
Yeah.
Ready to be back. Me, Danae.
Yeah. All of them are like, yeah, we're ready. Because I think that's the thing. Like it's so unknown. Everything has been such a big unknown. And I've said it, I'm a control freak. So I like to know, I like to be in control of a lot of things. I like to make plans. I like to have my own schedule and make everything, and to have this snatched so fast. And to do a 180, it's a struggle, and it's a resistant, but it's also an angry, like, you're making me do this. And I think that's the part also of the grieving process is anger. We all know that. And for us to have to change the way we do things and the way we look at things, not only in our business, the way we offer services, how we communicate, there's been a lot of things we've had to kind of evaluate in a short amount of time, and then also almost recover. Because honestly, right now, most of us are ramping up for that big, rush. Folks are coming in spring break. The weather is getting better. People are planning vacations. Like, typically we know March, April, May, June, July, August, those are guaranteed months of full business. Most of our income is made during this time for the entire year. We know that. But to have it to be taken away so dramatically and so fast is where a lot of us have had to say, okay, it's gone, but now what do I do? And Maxine and I have had this conversation, and we talk a lot, and we're always kind of like,
yeah,
there's going to be some big changes that happen really quickly. How fast can people adapt? But do they have the tools to really get there? Where do you start? And if a lot of you guys follow me on Facebook, I've been having those conversations that have been really hard for people. There's a lot of angry people on my page that are posting. And, yesterday I had
a ruckus, Stephanie.
Oh, I'm always causing a ruckus, but I'm really trying to get you to think, understand what's really happening. Yesterday, and I don't really block too many people, but yesterday I had to block somebody because I'm like, you're a little unhinged. Can we just have a conversation? It's okay. Be mad, but woo. But what I'm trying to do is really, get people to understand that it's a bigger picture. I think right now in our industry, we're seeing a struggle because we are so service-based. And those services have now been generalized to non-essential, which we all know is insulting. Yeah. So once we're past the insults of being classified as non-essential, what do we do with the knowledge and expertise that we've had? And how do we still connect to those clients and still have that yield of income? Like, what are we doing so that we still have income coming in? And I think getting over the non-essential label has been a struggle for some of us. I think there's been an issue with, us having those honest conversations with our landlords and our business side. What is our business? Are we a sole prop? Are we a LLC? Like, all of these things have really been thrown at us. And now we're really in limbo. States are opening back up, but we are still labeled non-essential. I guess, and Maxine and I both have talked about this, will probably be one of the last industries that are going to be allowed back to doing business as is, especially once our SOPs are in place. And it's hard. It's hard to stomach that because, again, it's unknown. Yeah. And we have some people saying this, some people saying June. I always say July, but we just don't know. So in the meantime, Maxine and I really want to give you some things. We started off our last webinar we did, our very first webinar together we did was really about staying calm and staying focused. And that webinar was great because we were like, okay, there's going to be a lot of stuff after this webinar that's going to be thrown at you. You still got to stay focused on what you know. And I find between that webinar and this webinar right here, we've had a lot that has happened in between that. Would you say that, Maxine?
Years.
Years have happened.
Like, that's what it feels like, like there's all those like jokes. It's not really funny, but it just feels like, oh my gosh, like it's just still so fluid and it's unfolding. But there's some things that, what I loved about that first webinar about remaining calm. And if you weren't on that one, basically the premise was we can't make critical decisions and we can't tap into our creativity if we're freaking out, if we're riddled with anxiety, if we're stressed, if we're allowing the media to dictate our lives. Like you cannot. So we have to basically find things that are going to calm you. And by now there's like a shit ton of like what to do from meditating to whatever. That's not really what that was about, like giving you lists of things, but is to get whatever it is for you to get in that state so that you can tap into that creativity and put on your entrepreneur hat and come up with other ideas to generate income.
Yeah.
And so, so for today, what we really want to talk about is building your virtual business. And we're going to talk about 2 different ways to do that. And this is not to say that when you go back in the treatment room and start servicing clients slowly, that that's still a stream of revenue for you. This is separate. We want to put your thinking cap on now and think of ways, or let me just ask, who has like started to develop a virtual business right now?
Or even a virtual footprint, meaning that you haven't quite figured out where you want to be, but you have a little bit of presence on, Facebook or social media. You have a little Facebook, maybe private group. You have your website, you send your e-newsletters, but you've slowly started getting into the virtual space.
Right. Okay, good. Some people say me, Monica, yep, Tatiana, Zoe, of course, working on it. 12 blog posts, yay! Janice, a little bit of presence. Thanks for your honesty. Working on it. Lisa, Trisha, perfect. Working on it. Okay, so that's good. So the next question is, how many of you believe that we need to freaking get our virtual savvy shit on to, like, no, serious, like now. Yes, we do. We cannot be waiting anymore. Like, we cannot, like, we're there. Like, we have been already, like, progressing into that space, but now we hit a brick wall 6 weeks ago and we are officially there. So exactly. No fear. This isn't, exactly. Waited too long. It's okay. So the thing is if you're ready now to do it, we have some ASAP. I love it. Private group and a virtual store. Absolutely.
In the virtual space, and let's Maxine and I kind of elaborate a little bit on the virtual space, because I think a lot of people think it has to be super time. A lot of time has to be invested in it. And I want to say that the initial is time, but after that, it's really self-automated. And that's what I think a lot of us miss. I think we really assume, and the things that I've shared, Maxine has shared, a lot of it now is automated. We're not spending hours from the ground up, spending hours putting together plans. If you're not familiar with the virtual space, it's all encompassing. So, your website is connected to your social media, connected to your email, connected, intricately from Facebook. How do you get people out? And then how you put them back in. And then from there, doing a little sub into different groups and stuff like that. But they're all connected. So it doesn't, if you feel very overwhelmed, because I think that's where a lot of people come to me, is they feel so overwhelmed thinking about the virtual space. But I'm going to take it and get it to you very basic. Right now, you're in virtual space. The fact that you connected and scheduled yourself to be here on the Zoom, you are operating in virtual space. If you have a Facebook page and you're in these little groups gossiping with the rest of these folks, you're already in virtual space. So I want to make it that it's sure that it's very clear and very basic. So don't overthink it.
Right.
You're already there. What we want to try to do is to get you to look at it from a different point of view where you already are. So I know that when people reach out to me, they're super like overwhelmed. Even like some of you guys are saying, yep, I should have done it. I shouldn't have done it. You're kind of already there. If you've already been in a Facebook group and you've gotten into an argument, you're in virtual space. If you have a website where you have people go to schedule appointments, or you have, people that purchase with you online, you're in the space. What we want to do is give you a plan for execution for it to be continuous, not just when you focus on it, but that it's always running in the background, if that makes sense. We have a lot of stuff that is in the background. So I hope I broke it down for you so that you kind of don't get overwhelmed. Like, I don't want you to take away from this that, oh, Stephanie and Maxine gave me more stuff to do and I'm not sure. No. There's a lot of things that you're probably already doing. You just kind of need a roadmap to get it and make it to where it's yours and it's personalized, but that it can be running all the time. Okay. So I hope you take that away from this conversation first. And I want to say that first, because Maxine and I can we can go down that rabbit hole and you'll really come back like, ooh, Lord.
We'll get in the weeds.
No. Right. We can get in that rabbit hole, but I want you to say, I wanted to make it very simple. You're already there. So don't look at the word virtual and make it more than what it is. You're already there.
For sure. And what we want for you, is the ability to monetize virtually.
Absolutely.
So that's what it's all about. It's not just about being in the space. It's actually going, oh my gosh, I woke up this morning and I made $500. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing like that feeling, in the world. And we're definitely there. So that would be, having that be automatic, like you were saying, Stephanie. So yeah. So do you want to talk about, you want me to talk about mine? We had sort of a plan, you guys. We're like, okay, well, let's talk about this today. But
we have so much stuff too. And it's kind of like, okay, so what do we want to talk about? What do we want to do? I think you should go first. And then, because I know we have Catherine waiting in the wings too. So
yeah, Catherine. Yay.
Yeah. So you go, you do your thing.
So Rebecca says, is Shopify the best space to sell? Not necessarily. I
think that's a good question. I'll give you from my point of view. I've had, this is now my 5th e-commerce site.
Yep.
And I average in fees, I think I'm at $800 a month. What is it that you want to sell? And how often are you going to sell it? I'm of the notion you don't have to have an actual store to sell an item. If that makes sense. If you're not there, because can you maintain the store?
Yeah.
Like, I'm even old school. You can even put a button. I have a training video of showing you how to just do a button for a product. You can do it from PayPal. You can do it in an email. You don't have to necessarily have a full storefront. And I want to make sure that you're clear on that. Just because you take an order doesn't mean it has to be that way. But I know now a lot of the scheduling ones are doing well. Square gives you a store. What's the other ones? There's a couple other ones that give you options of having a store built into your scheduler. So if you have a scheduler, what is it? Schedulicity, Square, any of those, they're now Bargaro Pro. Yeah, they're giving you the options to have stores. So I don't necessarily think you should have to pay an additional fee, because Shopify is going to charge you. So they're going to charge you for the item. They're going to charge you for the transaction. They're going to charge you a percentage on what they use to pay. So really know, do you have enough money to maintain that store if you have other options? So I always say, go to your scheduler first. So if you have where they make appointments, ask, do they have the store option or even a purchase option?
Yep.
You're already paying for it.
That's right. Yep. And I agree, because I'm like, Shopify. And I know that it just depends on some of the products. If you have certain ingredients, they won't even allow it. Like they're banned.
Yeah.
And so there's that too. And it could be something as simple as like I don't even know like the ingredients now. I can't think off the top
Right
of my
now,
head.
they're not doing any CBD. So if you sell any
Okay.
CBD
They're,
products, they're not. Shopify will not allow you to
yeah.
do that. I know I use BigCommerce. They do, but it has to be a certain percentage, and it really depends. Like there's some gray there, so they're still in the gray. But Shopify is completely saying no.
Yeah. Great
But they
question.
also have fees. So can you afford those fees?
Right. So, okay. So if I'm going to kind of do a little overview of my section, I would want you to think about selling virtually, not these onesies, twosies. How many people are over that? But I'm talking about selling things online. There are a substantial, like I believe in working smarter, not harder. Who's with me? No, really. Because like if you're going to put the effort into selling virtually, like it's not going to be one or two products at a time. Like, I
No.
don't know, like I'm a big fan of bundling. I'm a big fan of putting things together. And I see that there's a lot of people on right now that are part of my inner circle membership. I'm just going to tell you our last masterclass and a couple of the points that we covered in the last masterclass, which was how to monetize a webinar with confidence. And how many on that aren't in my membership already could see the value in that class, because you have the ability, you have the lists, you've built, okay, and part of that virtual presence is, have you gathered your email list? And if you haven't, and if you're sitting at home right now, now's the time to really get those email lists together, because that's how we're going to market to them. Okay. But if you can picture yourself delivering a webinar and selling a bundle, not a 1 or 2 Z product, but like, let's just say you bundled in three products, and now you bundled it with a My Skin Buddy or a Lightstim handheld, which, those retail for well over $200. And now that purchase on your webinar is like $600. And isn't that better than like a $50 product here? Like, it's just time and energy, right? So when I'm so proud of you, Rebecca. She started bundling after she took the last masterclass. So that's great. So if you can picture yourself creating this webinar, and now you take the replay of this webinar and you let it live on your YouTube channel. Who cares? Who cares if this webinar is the first video in your YouTube channel? You've started. Congratulations. Now you're in another, digital space. Maybe it lives also on your website. Maybe you have friends share it, because guess what? What that webinar does is it allows you to now reach people outside of your community where you would have your two hands on people. Now you can be like, to your friends or family or friends in other states, be like, share this webinar. And that webinar could be what we call evergreen in the marketing world, meaning that it's material that you're giving that's relevant for a long period of time. Mm-hmm. If we're doing a webinar on COVID, it's not going to be relevant next year.
Right.
But if we're teaching you virtual, that's going to be relevant for a long time. So that's what we call evergreen in the marketing world. Now, this is totally doable. Okay, so can I use you as an example, Stephanie? So I call my format, well, it's not really mine, it's borrowed from a bunch of different people in the marketing world where I've paid for classes, okay? and I've taught it, and so I call it the $10,000 format. Stephanie has made $24,000, $25,000, probably $10,000 within the first hour of the webinar running.
Yep.
We're not special. Like, you could do this too. I've had a few other people make well over that. So, so now is the time to really learn a format. And I'm really big into, and if you followed any of my work, I'm really like, running a business is two parts. It's part psychology and part marketing. And if you can get into the psychosis of your client, not trickery, but like really understand what their pain points are, how they're feeling, how can you help them, and what you have to offer, like on that said webinar, will help them achieve their end goal, then you've won. Like you've helped them, and you've also helped yourself by, generating income. So does this make sense so far? Am I making sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. My ear, Stephanie's like, So okay, perfect. So by teaching this webinar format is just one layer, meaning that you could go learn the format, go, holy smokes, I'm going to go take that format. I'm going to go create a video. I'm sorry, like a webinar. Zoom, you can actually utilize Zoom, I think up to 40 minutes for free. Is that right?
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
Yep.
So up to 500 people. If anybody gets more than 500 people on your webinar, call me.
Yep.
Because I've never had 500 people on my own webinar. So, but still, so that's like, you could start off like for free with Zoom. Zoom will give you the email list. So everyone that sign up for this webinar right now, I have your name, your first name, your email. I have your, so that I can continue to market to you. I could look at my report to see who stayed on, who thought we were full of shit, who didn't want to listen to us anymore. Like, and so that report tells you a lot, because it'll help you refine your webinar to go, oh man, like a bulk of the people fall off within the first 10 minutes if you don't grab them. And then the other bulk of people fall off when you start going into like a sales pitch. And, I'll be honest, Stephanie and I both have products to show you today that that are a purchase. Okay. So, but Rebecca's like, what's the best way to get a bigger email list? Oh my gosh. So Rebecca, you're in the inner circle. There is actually would you guys like to see like the back end of the inner circle for those that share it? Who wants to see? I'll share it. You want to see the back? You've seen the back end. Me. Okay, I'll show you the back end. All right, let's see. All right. Okay, you want to see? All right, I'm going to do it.
And to answer Rebecca, I have a big email list, but that email list still is at 20% open rate. So
can you guys see my screen, Stephanie?
Yes, we see Zoom.
Okay. So, all right, I guess I should show you this first. So this is the landing page that just kind of shows you. So landing page, how to develop a landing page.
All we see is Zoom.
Oh, stop it. For real?
Mm-hmm.
Do you see this one? Esthetician. Oh, really? What do you
see is Zoom.
Stop. For real? It's doing that again?
All we see is Zoom.
Well,
it says, it's a big Zoom. It says join a meeting.
Well, I thought you could see the Esthetician Academy for a second there.
Let me see view options. Yeah, no. Mm-mm.
Oh man, you guys, I hate when Zoom does this. Okay, stop sharing. Let me start over. Maybe it didn't like it. So here's what's going on. Like with Zoom.
I'm like, all we see is Zoom. You're like, see this? Yeah, no, we see Zoom.
Okay, just kidding. Teaser. Okay, let me try this again. I did this earlier and people were able to see. I did all right, can you see the Esthetician Business Academy?
We see Zoom.
Oh man.
It
All
goes
right.
there
So,
and then it goes to this Zoom. So can you minimize the Zoom panel? Can you minimize that?
well, if I do that, well,
Just minimize it.
oh, okay. Oh, it says screen sharing is paused. I have this big lock thing on it. So this is the other thing that's happening. So what do you do when you can't share your screen?
Look, I'm like,
Resume share. Let's see. Oh, wait.
did you unlock it?
You still see Zoom?
Yeah. See, when you go back out of it, we
They're
see your
laughing.
screen.
What?
When you go out of it before you come here, we see everything. So it's like a
Well,
split second.
well, you're not going to be able to see anything. And
So I guess I can't share either.
okay. Okay. You guys want to know like the funny shit of why Zoom is like on lockdown right now? Because okay, every school and college and is like utilizing Zoom now for like online learning, and they like literally had like people like hacking into Zoom and like jerking off and stuff.
Little
True story.
nasty little fools in there
Yeah.
showing their stuff.
So now like they're making screen
Lord.
share like difficult, and I literally did a practice. I'm so pissed. Well, because I wanted to show you. I was like, all
Well,
right.
can you unlock it? Does it give you an option to unlock?
How do you do it? Do you tell me?
I
Because
don't
I'll be a student. I
know.
love being the student.
So when you go to share screen, so I don't think I can share.
Okay, when I go to share screen, I only get basic and advanced.
Right. So do you
Bear
optimize
with us.
screen sharing for video?
It's not even giving me all right, you know what?
Oh.
Yeah, you guys, I'll I don't know what I'll do. You know what I'll do? No, I don't know you know what I'll do is when I email you guys, I'll record like a little back end into the inner circle. I'm sorry, like whatever. Like try to screen share yours.
I just did. So I guess I can't do mine either.
Oh, can you see yours?
Can you see mine now?
Yeah. Oh, wait.
No? What do you see? Do you see my emails?
Yeah.
You see my Facebook?
I see your training. You got your Say Skin Online Core.
You got my Punjabi stuff. So how can you see me? How can you see mine and not yours?
I don't know. Maybe I'm in Zoom jail. I don't know.
Okay, so everybody can see all my stuff and all my classes, my half naked ladies, right, for the boot camp, right?
Well, hello. Yep.
Okay.
All right. Well, this is your show. You go, girl.
No, you're still going. I'll go to mine later. Go ahead.
No, if they can't see. All right. So basically what I wanted to show you was the back end of the Esthetician Business Academy. And, I think that there's more than just creating the webinar. I wanted to show you how to launch it. I wanted to teach you how to launch a high-end service using video or using the webinar. So even it's not necessarily just for product sales. What about teaching makeup? What about teaching home care? What about selling a series of your high-end services, like now, like getting people excited about going back. And so you're just funneling people into your high-end services only. Because a lot of you said like, hey, I want to work smarter, not harder. And so just like you don't want to sell the onesie twosie products, how many people are over the small services that you were doing? You're like like revisiting your menu, like, maybe I want to, just focus on higher end tickets so that you have to work less. So basically what I've been teaching in the inner circle is giving you the confidence to build this virtual business. So how to build your first email funnel. There's a training on that. How to create your client avatar. Now, those who are in my inner circle, they'll know that I beat that like a dead horse. And the reason is that I help you zero in on your target market, because 99% of people don't know, entrepreneurs don't know who their target market is. It's really important to know who your target market is so that you can talk like them. And if you can't talk like them, you're not going to make sales. Okay. It's just really that simple. So content marketing 1 and 2, like all of these virtual classes. Okay, Stephanie really wanted me to talk about this one, how to monetize a Facebook group.
Yes.
Do you think that's important? But see, now that's a platform for you to deliver your webinar. You see how they kind of like marketing, people are like, oh, can you talk about marketing? I'm like, oh my God, there's so many tentacles to marketing, but they all kind of like fit together and you build upon it. You know, marketing is letting people know what you have available and making it easy for people to find you and take action. And
So for people who want to take that training with you, with the how to monetize the Facebook page, because I'm in some of your students groups and I'm even saying I may have to take Maxine's training because they're not doing things that are of the normal.
right.
So you definitely talk about, you know, not naming your group, your business. And me and you argue with that. But now that I'm in some of your students' groups who are monetizing those groups, I understand.
Yeah.
And you have a specific way you're telling them to monetize Facebook because people right now are on Facebook. Before all of COVID happened and the shutdown happened, our percentage was what, 80% of people spent between 3 to 4 hours on Facebook a day. Now we're at 6 to 9 hours a day and sometimes more.
That's right.
So the most, I think, actionable items for you to do is to understand the importance of a Facebook group, and monetizing doesn't always mean selling. You're going to do certain things that get them to the mindset of understanding how they can spend money with you.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's really true. Some really good questions. Rebecca's like, until I get comfortable doing Zoom and doing a webinar, would a video on my bundles and series of services be the next best thing? The reason why I like doing webinars, I mean, every time people sign up for webinars, you are building your email list.
I agree.
Okay. So you want to not just reach your people that you already have, you want to hopefully be like, wow, you know, now like for Stephanie and I, you know, I'll just be transparent. Hopefully, like you guys have loved us before and you're like, dang, like, and you're sharing it with your esthetician community to say, hey, you need to come on and, you know, do one of their webinars with them because they're awesome and whatever you say. And so it allows you to keep building that email list, which is one of the things that I teach you in the inner circle. Like you constantly, because building that email list, that's like your warm market now that you can now build what's called a nurture campaign. I know some of this, it doesn't make sense, forgive me, but for people to start to get to know you through a series of emails, and then you can eventually say, you know, sell to them. You know, so it's giving value.
That is like ClickFunnels. I have ClickFunnels. Yep. I use that for mine, but I did not use email to grow mine. My organic grow was my esthetician chats that I did for the 2 years on Periscope. Yeah. So that was how I reached people outside of what I was doing in the business. I was talking to you and relating to you in order for you to be comfortable. And I think the organic of the esthetician chats is what propelled me for here. But along came with that was the emails, the free webinars, the classes, all of that, you know, Periscope was a while ago.
Yeah.
And then I took those videos and put them onto YouTube where they live, and I still have people watching them now. So, you know, a lot of stuff that we do and that we're showing you to do is a bigger picture to complete that whole circle. Like you got to have different entry points on those circles.
Right.
And for webinars right now, and maybe webinar is a big word that people get intimidated because they have to be on Zoom. I know some of my folks are doing spa parties on Zoom. They, you know, are having people, you know, buy the little facial kits that you're selling, and on a Friday night you do a spa party. So you have Zoom, everybody comes in, you literally walk them through, you tell them to have a bowl of water, you tell them to have all the products out, and then they do it with you while they're drinking their wine.
Absolutely. And where did that come from? Okay.
The virtual space. Yes.
No. Just the concept of that, you guys. Now, don't hate the messenger, right? Don't attack me. But that concept of the spa party came from like Mary Kay.
Yes, it does. Yeah,
so
that I agree.
So we take that in home and we go, oh, move that to the virtual space with professional grade products, and voila. Like there's a lot to learn from the MLM. Like I'm not a hater of MLM. I think, you know, whatever. I don't want to go down the rabbit hole. Woo! But we can take that concept. Are you giving Celine a look? And we can take that concept and go, how can we turn this into an advantage for ourselves? So there's that. So would you like me to drop a link to my inner circle in the group?
Chat.
In the chat? Would that be, would you guys
like
that?
Because you have folks questions. What would I video or webinar for high-end service? Do I show it or do I talk about it? That's Janice is asking, which is a good question. And then of course you have the ones where, when is it going to be a standalone class instead of a part of the inner circle? Look, you guys are asking these questions and it's the same thing. Every time I talk to Maxine, I tell her, pull it out. She don't listen to me. So maybe you guys will do it.
I have, like, if you go to my Maxine Drake page right now and you click work with me, you will see individual class. Okay, here's the inside scoop, you guys. You'll see individual classes that are like business planning 101, $197. What to do when things aren't working, or tune up your business in 3 segments, $197. Okay, that's just silly to pay individual prices when the Inner Circle membership is $67 for the month.
And you get all of it.
But see, because I created the membership, because there is no standalone that's going to do it all, you need to take the time to learn how to do a landing page, to learn how to deliver the webinar, to learn how to get your website SEO'd up. I'm not saying that you need to be a master of all this. I'm just saying I have met so many estheticians who have gotten ripped off from web people, social media people. Tell me if you have. And I'm like protective, because I go, look, you'll learn enough to be dangerous, to go, now I know enough. Like even the content marketing strategy, it's something that I use in my business today. And why did I even create that format? Was because I was like, holy shit, I don't have enough time in the day to do this. I need to come up with a system so I'm not losing my mind.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think
that into a class. So they all kind of go, you know, it's up to you to do the work. I'm not going to lie. Like, I don't like taking people's money. Come in and do the work, and be serious about it, and learn the skill. Like, I'm sorry, but
she's pouring her heart out, because I've told her, people have asked me, Maxine has an amazing SOP program in her inner circle. She has an amazing Facebook, how to monetize a Facebook group in her inner circle. Now, most of the people, they get scared with, I don't know where the $67 is scared for, but if you join it, then you get access to that instead of paying, because you're going to pay $197 just for the Facebook. You're going to pay $197 just for the SOP. So why not pay $67? And I get that.
I'll do it. All right. You know what, y'all? I will take your $197.
That's what I'll create them. They keep asking. Look at all of it standalone.
But it's just silly. So I just go, I don't know. Like, what am I missing, you guys? Is it just that like you can only handle one thing at a time? Like I get that too. And you can only watch one thing at a time, but why not take the money?
See, all of them are saying that's me right now. Yes, yes, why not? See, I told you.
But then, all right, I just
Whatever.
feel
I
like a
told her.
thief.
I told her. I think the thing with what you have is that you have a lot of information, and maybe people get overwhelmed because it's a lot, but maybe if you give them a little guide and say, here's where we start first. So if
I
you're interested
do.
in doing
And
oh,
there's a
sorry,
marketing category.
sorry.
There's a leadership category. There's a business building category, and there's a sales category.
Okay. Well, they're telling you what they want. So I'm just
You
saying.
know, I'm listening.
Okay. No, but I think she does. Maxine has one of the best SOP programs. I think she has one of the best. I'm in some of the groups of her students who are monetizing Facebook. Just in a lot of, and Maxine probably doesn't know this, but I'm in some of their groups. So I'm always looking like, wow, it's not what you think it is. It's definitely not my group. So if you're in my groups, then these other people groups are completely different, but she's really getting to the meat of it and how to do monetizing so that it becomes more easier for them to do. She said, let them take one, then decide to put their money into the membership if they want within 7 days or whatnot. So Janice said, for the classes that you offer, everything is just $67 a month, right?
Yeah, just $67 a month.
Yeah.
That's
Since
it.
some people want to learn one thing at a time, then they continue to invest. So then if you want to do the Facebook monetization group, you pay your 67 and then you get access to that. I think that's pretty easy. And then if that's all you want, I mean, you know, 67 is very different than 197 because, you know, a lot of y'all complain about the 197.
I know.
And I'm the opposite. So no, I pay for it outright. You're going to pay me my time. But anyway.
Okay. So there's that, you guys. I hope you find that helpful. We have a lot of people in the group right now. We're doing a blog a month. We're doing a blog challenge that's virtual. Why am I doing that? Why am I encouraging my group to write a blog per month? First of all, there's a format for that as well that I teach you so that you can drive massive traffic to your website. But number one, it positions you as the expert, credibility, you're enhancing your writing skills. We're just talking one blog a month, so we're not getting cray, but one blog a month I feel is doable for people, and they're getting excited. I'm like, you know, so this last month, I'm like, so write a blog about COVID and the steps, like we know the sanitation steps that you take in your, you know, in your practice, but maybe your people don't know. So why not do a blog and like, just, you know, FYI, you may not know this, but this is what I do in between each client. This is how I sanitize. I want to make you feel comfortable when you come back in. So write a blog about it. And so they are. So yeah.
She said people didn't know that you got all that access just for the $67. So maybe that's why they're not doing 67. They want it separate, but not realizing you can get all of what you're talking about all just for 67.
Now, granted, most of my people have been in there for 3 years. They don't leave. I've never done refunds, but people come in and they stay.
Well,
and
because you have a lot of content to give them. That's a lot of stuff. I mean,
You're
SOPs by itself, monetizing in Facebook. I mean, that right there, those are two big things. But I think the group mentality, as we all talk about, is also important as well. So you have a place that you are comfortable to communicate with her in that. So now they're changing their tune. Some people are saying now the 67 is looking a little bit better than that 197.
I'm telling you,
I had to say it in that way, right?
Trying to, like, I want, you know, it's like there's over 40 master classes in there right now. There's like $10,000 worth of material. Some I give you email templates, checklists, just depends.
Well, look at that. See, now people are like, that sounds good. Okay, so, you know, there you go. Those are actionable items. I definitely think y'all should get on this Facebook thing because I think the monetizing of Facebook pages, I cannot reemphasize enough. I actually reconfirmed with Maxine, one of the groups that I'm in. I'm like, is this one of your girls? And she's like, yep. That's not what I thought. Look, I was like, that's not what I thought it was. She's like, nope, she's monetizing it. I said, well, let me sit back and watch. Now, you know, and I'm the queen of monetizing, y'all know me. If
Uh-huh.
I'm saying that about one of the groups that I'm in and I didn't know it was from Maxine's training, now I'm really like, okay,
Yeah.
it's not what I thought it was. And now I understand how she's monetizing it. And it's not the traditional hammer sales, hammer this, hammer discounts, hammer, hammer, hammer. It's not that. So I know a lot of you guys know that you are wanting to go that way. I would definitely suggest you connecting with Maxine, put your link in, Maxine, because it got lost again.
Oh, it did?
Yeah,
Oh,
connecting with her and taking that course, because it's something you can do right now. So $67 is not a whole lot of investment. She can get you where you need to
oh,
be.
you know why? Because I'm sending it to me and you guys. I'm so sorry.
Oh, that's why. Yeah, you got to go to both the panelists and attendees.
I am just like, I don't know what's going on. I need like Zoom training
I'm
again.
like, what? Where is it?
I
Oh.
know. I did it too. So, which also goes into the virtual thing that you want to talk about, because
Yes.
um, doing
Online consultations. Absolutely. Do you want to bring in
oh yeah, Catherine, are you still
Catherine, I
with
hope
us?
you're still on to bring her in. So I launched an online consultation with eczema prone skin clients. We did this in January. And I did it in a webinar format with Maxine. I actually launched it a year ago, where I actually have people come out to Dallas. That's when we were flying and traveling. No one's traveling anymore. And people worked with me for 2 days. And then I brought Celine in. So, my daughter has suffered with eczema for this whole time. She's now going to be 14 in June. Good Lord. Um, so I really wanted to have a format where you could actually talk with clients, but not have to do it in a very over aggressive situation for people who are already sensitive with specifically eczema. And the reason why I did eczema is because, one, it's so dear to my heart. Two, because my daughter has suffered with it so long, but I've really started and I've been studying about it for years now. And I've shared that treating people who have eczema, especially if you are already having clients now that are on your clientele and they check that box that says they have eczema, you should really completely change the way you're doing your protocols. And I kind of mentioned that in a lot of my esthetician chats, and people really didn't really catch what I was saying. Catherine had been catching what I was saying, and she was like, I would love to know more. I do have quite a bit of folks that have eczema in my clientele already. I haven't changed the way I've been doing their protocols because I didn't think if they had eczema on their foot or their leg, it would affect their face. And I said, well, that's, I think, the most biggest misconception is that eczema really delivers and changes the entire skin. And if it's not focused on their face, sometimes the treatments that you have that they should be yielding results they don't is because of the eczema that's on their leg. And so that got her to really starting to think, and her and I would go back and forth every couple of weeks. And I kept telling her, I want to put together a training, but I don't really want to be pushy. It's not going to be cheap. Let me think about it. And so I've always had products that have dealt with eczema because a lot of people don't know Brazil brand, the home care has always been around my daughter. Yes, it's post care, but I mostly formulated it for Celine so that in any trauma, any situation, it would take the skin back to neutral. So Ouch Balm has been our biggest sale just because it's Celine's daily use. And so Catherine had a picture of a client that she had been treating on his face, right? It wasn't necessarily for eczema before
On
that.
his throat.
Yes. And so on his throat, and she had been using Ouch Balm, and she showed me the picture after 30 days, and I was floored. And that picture definitely pushed you over the edge. People started reaching out who were suffering with eczema. You guys, welcome Catherine Barrows. She is one of the Say Skin eczema prone skin specialists. So she's been certified, and she is taken this certification and run with this. So Catherine, share with people what you have taken, not only with the training, but how you're now doing pretty much 100% online consultations with all your eczema folks.
Well, yes, actually all online. Well, right now it's all online because we can't be there in person. I want to say about 2/3 of my clients are actually in person because they're here in my county, but here I am touching my nose. Y'all need to be yelling at me. um, I want to preface this to say, Stephanie, I've known you, I've used your product since about 2012, and Maxine, I want to say it's 2016 that I've known Maxine. So working with both of you ladies has really helped me concretely work with this program for eczema. Gosh, just lost my train of thought. A bird just hit the window. I'm so
Well,
sorry.
tell how you started it, because I know you built your Facebook group, but how did you start your virtual online consultation with your eczema clientele?
Okay. The way I started it was very, very slow and very small. I created an online Facebook group that is just for my eczema clients. I share information with them. We talk about things back and forth. It's a really, really tight-knit community. And it's not open to the public. It is private. It's only for my clients. So they feel very safe and secure chatting back and forth about their skin issues. And because of the work that I've been blessed to do with Stephanie and these clients that have come to me, they're actually telling other people. I'm not advertising at all. They're telling other people, so we're growing it organically. And that's what I've learned with Maxine, is to utilize the circle that you have and let it grow out that way. I've got doctors coming to me, ophthalmologists coming to me.
Oh, that's great.
I've got people from out of state, which is where the virtual world comes in. It doesn't matter where your camera is set, because you can reach anybody within Wi-Fi distance of any Wi-Fi.
And you've had I know the one lady that you and I worked on outside, because she was very embarrassed and she had eczema in her intimate areas.
Yes.
She was a client before she even shared that with you, correct?
Yes, she was a client of mine for almost 10 years before she shared that with me. When I started with you, Stephanie, to work towards getting my certification, and she learned that I was doing this, she's like, I've got this problem. Yeah, I'm embarrassed. And we just sat and we had that talk, and it took her a couple of months to get comfortable enough to show me what was going on. But I want to say it was within days she was sleeping so comfortably because of the education I got. I could help her. She just went for her yearly exam back in January or February, to her gynecologist, and the gynecologist could not believe how beautiful her skin was. She was all healed. And she asked her, hey, what's going on here? I've never seen healing like this before. Did you, is the medication working? And she's like, I stopped using the medication. I'm seeing Catherine. The doctor asked for my information and has passed it on to her clients.
Wow.
So it's working within your community. Even if it's not a physician that's local, if they're out of town because you've got a client with eczema who's out of town, you can still work with the physicians and the customers that way as well.
And that's the thing, I think, we have a lot of people who take online consultations and really kind of make it towards products. And our Say Skin has nothing to do with products, actually. It's really about the client and what they're doing on a day-to-day basis, which is very different in our industry, because estheticians are always taking what we can do for product and collaboration. What I did with the certification is I took the products out, because there's a lot of people who suffer with eczema who will use 100 products under the sun that say eczema or for eczema prone skin, and will never understand that the product is probably what's triggering their outbreaks. And when I did the class and I presented all of them with my 150 questionnaire, that's just for the first consultation, all of them were saying 150 questions? Yes. And you're probably going to add some to that as you start going through the questionnaire. And we talk about everything: how hot your water is, how long do you sit in a car, do you have direct access when you're at work to the ventilation system? Do you have your own ventilation system? How hot is your water when you wash your hands? How hot is your water when you shower? Do you go into hot tubs? Do you go from your gym and then to the sauna? everything that we talk about literally has nothing to do with products, which I feel in our industry, people are looking for. They're more looking for help and guidance that is not product-based. Products can be great when we yield those results, but do we actually have that background? And that's one thing that I really took with this training to heart, because in sharing the journey that I've had with my daughter now, 13 going on 14 years, there's a lot of things that people just don't talk about, like even how you wash your clothes. And Catherine can tell you from the class, we even talked about washing clothes, and and people kept saying, why are you spending about 20 minutes on talking about washing clothes? And I said, okay, let me just talk about my household. So we use no bleach on our clothing. We use no fabric softener. We also have a method of washing. And then you get those questions like, well, what do you use? Well, then let's talk about it, because clothes spend what? 60 to 80% of the time on our body, because we're so really, we're so detached as estheticians. We think neck up. In eczema, you got to be totality from head to toe all the way to your toes. So it's all in between. So when you're doing your consultation, you're asking about that itch that you have under here. You're asking about that itch behind in between the toes and behind the knees. Like, I'm asking about all of it. So I know when Catherine looked at it, Catherine, share with us when you took that consultation back, how you kept asking, so will people get tired of me asking those questions? And what has been your experience? Because you shared this with me, when you ask those very intimate questions, what are they telling you? Are they surprised when you ask them about how hot their water is when they wash their butt?
Well, they really don't think about all of the things in their whole biome that affects what is going on with their skin. And it's the same when we're estheticians working on skin. We need to know everything that's going on, the medication, what they're coming in contact with, where they're working, what their hobbies are, because that's your whole little world, and your entire body is having a reaction to it. That's why we need to know everything. And we, as Stephanie said, we add questions if it's a relevant question to ask. And they're like, wow, I never really thought that material could be causing me a problem. I guess, I'll take your suggestion and I'll take that out of the equation and see what happens.
Let me just chime in here for a minute, because what I think is the big misconception is that we need to, as estheticians, see, physically touch, all of those things. So how many people would feel comfortable doing an online consultation in a class like this? How many are at least willing to learn? Because I think it's I think it just opens up. Yeah, for sure, Denise. Yeah. I think it opens up again that whole, now you're outside of your community. You're starting to reach the masses and truly help people solve a problem that, but I think it's really hard for us estheticians who are used to touching.
I think that the touching part, and at the end of my live training, I actually let people touch Laynes, which is very, very, very special. Look at Catherine, still like,
it does go deeper.
I was bored.
Yeah.
Yes. So we allow people to touch her skin, and she talks to you, and she really, Laynes, as you know, is very much in character. But will never have a facial, and she will never get the kind of treatments that you and I offer, because of the amount of triggers that she has that will cause her to flare up on her face. And in my private group, I actually it was 14 days. I showed every day from the beginning of her flare up all the way to the end. So you got to see her go from her beautiful chocolate skin to places that went and lost pigment, which is very common with eczema as well, to the flaking, to the inflammation, to the weeping. So I showed a picture every day while she was in a flare-up, so that my folks could get a bigger picture that in these 15 days, look at what the skin has done.
Yeah.
And I literally, I shared everything. So when Laynes comes in and I allow people to touch her face, Catherine can share it. what you think you're touching is nothing compared to what it feels like, the different textures, how it's really specific to the home care, and then the consistency of the home care. Because my analness with her is, you know, she uses a new towel every day. There's no towels that touch her face. We took soaps out of the equation when she was 3. We use paper towels on her face, which is a part of her exfoliation, because we can't do a chemical or mechanical exfoliation because that'll cause a flare up. And then we take it to understanding each different type of eczema. So right now, there's been articles that I've been sharing, and Catherine's been sharing them in her group as well, is that right now with COVID, there's definitely telltale signs that are showing eruptions on the skin that's not on the face. So in my 150 questionnaire, now I'm telling all the specialists to add in there all these different things we're seeing from COVID with all these people and where they are. And you know the most common places where they are, Maxine? That people are showing signs that they have COVID and there's skin disorders? Their toes.
Oh, really? I was going to say knees.
Nope, toes.
Oh, wow.
Toes.
Wow.
But how many of us are talking about toes or feet when we do a consult? So now in my groups, I'm sharing all this information that is encompassing not only in the certification, but people who are already having clients. Now we have to change and add to our questionnaires and our protocols, because now COVID is definitely changing. And the thing about COVID is that we don't know if it's coming, that those toes are changing before they are symptomatic or after, and then how long, because they don't know now. They don't know how long those toes, and they're really gnarled looking.
Oh, God. You know what I love about this is that, so for those who live in states where we can't touch feet, and I know Colorado is one, and there's
California's one.
now this opens up a whole nother, like, holy cow, it's
Yep.
still skin.
Yep.
So, you know, with that virtual consult, now you're able to help, and oh, wow, that's really cool.
Yeah.
So,
And I mean, Catherine has done really well. I'm very proud of her. I mean, she has definitely taken this and skyrocketed it. I know she has her private group. She's, you know, launching and always trying to connect with them. Her website is absolutely beautiful. I share your website with a lot of people because they don't know how to get people in or even just open that conversation with eczema. Eczema is a very intimate, in my opinion, a very intimate skin condition, especially if you have it in the intimate areas. To have that discussion with. But the minute that you say that you work with people who have eczema, that opens a whole floodgates of conversation and referrals, because in our industry specific, we don't do anything with eczema clients. We let them check that box and then we push them to the side. Right. And for me, Celine can't have any services. So I would love to help, you know, estheticians understand how you can even grow your clientele with these clients, but it not be in a service-based situation, which I think, Catherine, and you can attest to it, why you're still having these clients still be with you, because you have formulated this really kind of community where they can really share.
Oh, yes, absolutely. As I said, I'm sharing things in the group. Sometimes I'll start a topic, but they're just talking back and forth, and there's so much support amongst each other in that group. One thing I want to say about taking the eczema course with you, Stephanie, is I have injured both of my arms, and there was a point not that far past in my career, we're talking it not even a year ago, where I thought I was going to have to retire because I couldn't use my arms.
Oh, wow.
So what Catherine, was can you give people an idea? Because I know you shared in my group, and if however comfortable you feel about sharing this, like to give people an idea of like what kind of earnings you can make virtually with this and how you built it, and how long did it take you to build your clients? And then there's some people that are at, oh, you already put it. Okay. Never mind, Stephanie, you're on it. Asked about the class, but can you kind of help people there?
Well, I charge $100 an hour for my consults. And right now I have 35 active clients, and they're not all in my town. And it can take you anywhere from 3 to 6 appointments to get through all of the paperwork. So do the math that way. I know they say retire on your retail. this eczema consulting is that.
Yeah, I think it's
That is that.
fantastic.
And it's not just getting through the paperwork, but it's walking that journey with them into their skin health. And they don't just walk away when they're all finished. They stick around, and we still consult, not as often as before, but I will say this is what's keeping me afloat right now.
I think that's fantastic. And now what happens is, because you've built that, and do you find that those people, like the referral, like just goes, is the referral, are the referrals coming in at a good pace now because you're truly helping people virtually?
It is.
Okay.
I want to say maybe right now I'm at about 3 or 4 a month,
Okay,
which
that's
is
really, those are
okay.
good.
That's okay.
That's
I'm
good
not
for
stressed about
virtual.
that. Virtual, yes. I'm
That's
not
good.
advertising. I'm not paying for advertising. It's
So
all word of mouth. It's all organic.
I think that's huge. And, and I think that, this whole virtual concept of what if you want to, like, not work another day in your spa? I know we all are missing touching people and all that stuff right now, but what if you just wanted to be home one day? Because this is stuff you do at your home, right? You don't go into the office, right, Catherine?
Well, right now I'm at home, but
I know.
usually I have a room set aside at my office to do my consults with. That way, I'm not distracted by things that are going on, and I have all of their files in one space. But you can do this from anywhere. You
Yeah,
can
and
do it
that's
from
the thing,
afar.
Catherine is sharing. We do have paperwork. So we actually have a program that I designed for her. Each client, you actually progress them. You have your pictures that they take. So they're seeing when they started with you to how many they're in the middle to when you get to 6. So they're seeing a progression. So it's pretty intricate what we're going over so that they can see progress. Because that's the one thing eczema clients want to see is progress. They want that visual because they see it all the time. So when you show it to them with when they started with to where they are now, that's what gives you that connection. Because to be honest, and we talk about this in the training as well, most of the medical industry folks, they're just prescribing. They're not even taking pictures or documenting anything. Most of the drugs are not, the side effects of the drugs are the things that cause eczema. So it's a vicious cycle. My daughter has never been on drugs. She's been on drugs once, and that was when she was a little baby, which kind of got me, very upset, but really breaking down what the drugs are doing. And there's new drugs that are popping up all the time. You see them all the time. And it's like, but the side effects is what causes the eczema. So why do I need the drug? And so really getting people past that. And I know that Catherine says she's lost people who have opted to stay on the drug, and just
That's
said
okay.
that, yeah, I would rather the drug than try to be natural and understand why I have flare-ups. And you have those folks as well,
You do. You have those in skincare that don't want to give up their whatever
Neutrogena. Yes.
right? So, and that's okay. And that's all a part of really understanding your target market and knowing how to speak like your client. Like for Catherine, you've just done so well. And Stephanie, there's questions about your training program. Is it ongoing, the virtual?
Yes, online is ongoing. I have a live class, and that's what I think Anele, she was talking about, is in August.
Okay.
I haven't decided what I'm doing with my live class yet. If in the event we're still here, well, I hope we're not, then I will be doing it live. I'll be doing it in a live Zoom. So, do I use sunflower oil in my eczema products? No, I'm trying to think. No, not sunflower
Okay.
oil. But that was a good question. I know everyone wants to come to Dallas. I know everyone wants to come, and everyone loves the
You're
touching of
doing it. We're going
Celine.
to be, if we're not fine by August, you guys,
Oh, God.
no,
I'm hoping, I'm hoping with the folks that have registered for my live class that we will still have it. I'm
right.
hoping to have Catherine be a guest, even if we do it with Zoom, so she can answer the questions of the students that are in there for a little bit more intricate.
Cool.
So, I'm really like trying to figure out what we do with that live class. So please, those of you who have registered, we're still on hold. If in the event I cancel it live, I will have it live with me on Zoom. So we'll do that. And then I may allow for the next year for those folks who weren't able to come with me to be able to come back for 2021 and do that. So that's still on hold for now. So yes.
Danae says Zoom would be great. I think,
yes.
All right, okay, true question, you guys. For a hands-on class like this, where we know as estheticians, we want to get in there, we want to but again, if we're learning how to do this virtual, just saying, does would you guys be okay learning a hands-on class through Zoom? Virtual. Rebecca's like, I want virtual.
And that might be an option that I do. Elizabeth, to answer your question, I'll make the decision in July.
Okay.
If by July we're not out of this, then we'll go ahead and set it up for Zoom.
When's the class? The end of August? When's your live class?
Yeah, it's August, I want to say 17th.
Yeah, you got to let people know the first week of July.
Yep. So first week of July, I'll let it know.
Listen to me. I'm like bossing you. I'm like, hey, you got to let people know.
No, so July for sure. But if we have to cancel it, then we will go and do the virtual. The live is definitely different. I mean, Catherine can tell you, I put you up front. I tell you how I have eczema. So she could tell you, I grill you on ingredients. I grill you. I mean, so the live experience is definitely different. But
well, can I just say, I really enjoyed that part specifically because it makes you a more critical thinker as far as eczema and how to work with the clients and how to speak with them and how to listen, because you have to listen.
Oh, because I trick them. Yeah, I give them symptoms.
You have to listen to what people are saying. But that can be done live if that's through Zoom, if that's what needs to happen at that time.
Yeah, and I do. I love my folks who love to do the hands-on, be in person, look in my mouth, listen at what I'm saying. I understand. That's why I'm kind of holding out to the last minute, because I do think the live class is definitely different than the online. If those of you who are not self-paced or not disciplined, it is a little bit more difficult. But I think I'm going to make the decision in July.
But there's still a portion of your class that's digital, right?
My class?
The eczema?
Yeah, we have a digital option. You can definitely take the digital option. What I actually find is most people who take it online still want to come and do the live.
Yeah.
I'm in Dallas.
Yep, Stephanie's in Dallas, yeah.
Yes, Miss Janice was also there. You remember Janice, Catherine? She sat behind you. Yes, she's in here talking. So yes, she took the class as well. She was also touching on Celine because we allow everybody to touch on her. So yes, but I will make that decision. But if you're not able to make it and you do want to have an online option, I'll go ahead and put it again for the link where you can take it online. But I think the online is for option for people who can't do it. And who knows, I may just go ahead and just do the virtual, because I've had people who are already certified want me to come back on Zoom and even, push them even more. Catherine has actually said that as well, that she would like to have a refresher at least once a year. Just because there's a lot of things that change and come in, especially with the drugs and the interactions with different drugs. Now we have COVID as a trigger, because now COVID is triggering eczema too. So, yep, I'm with y'all. I'm there with you.
Yeah, no, it's
a lot, but I think it's needed. And I think, Catherine, Miss Janice, all of them who are certified now have this to fall onto, because stress also kicks up that eczema as well. And a lot of people are stressed, and a lot of people are having outbreaks.
Share to show people too. And I'm going to answer a question. Do you want us to do a screen share? Do you guys want to see?
What are we seeing? What am I seeing?
Are we going to show you in the back end of yours, or no? You don't want to do that?
Ain't nobody showing. No.
Put her on the spot. Okay, Rebecca had a question. Can I sell my Skin Buddy without inventory? It's so funny because I chatted with Gada. I don't know if she's still on, but I chatted with Gada last week. I love her, and I love her. And you guys, that should be bundled with all your high-end stuff and with your products. But no, you don't have to have an inventory. I know that a lot of companies are stepping up to the plate right now, and they are doing drop shipping. But you know what's so awesome about my Skin Buddy and Gada? She's always done drop shipping, you guys. And I was like, how did I not know that? I don't know if
I knew that. I think she said that at Summit. So yeah, I knew that.
Went over my head.
I was next to her at Summit though.
Yeah, and so I think that that's a great option right now, especially for not investing in inventory, to allow you that option so you can still make sales and commission, because you make you're going to make a bigger return on a modality, a handheld. So, yeah, nope, you don't need inventory on that. So no
Jeannie says,
screens.
drop shipping, are we giving away our clients? Are we not? What do you mean giving away your clients? We are giving away our clients? What do you mean?
What?
Elaborate on that for me, Jeannie, and come back with that. You want to know how to sell your Skin Buddy?
Oh yeah, you'll make like 100 commission for each.
Yes, she's saying $100, no affiliate program. Each sale you get $100. Got it. I don't know. You ain't shared that with me. Look, you should have said something. I got one.
You know how Stephanie is. She loves her little
affiliate.
About
monetization now.
Lord. But no, it's all good. But no, that's that, contact my Skin Buddy. And here's the thing that I love about, and Gada taught me well, like you need to.
Yes, she did say that. I can't use it until I'm done with this guy. And then when this is over, then I can go back. Jeannie said they used clients to sell whatever they're selling. I know I'm drop shipping, and no, I'm not. I don't actually get anything to market to them. We just literally ship. So our customers put in their information and then they just change the ship to.
Janae says, use our clients. I don't get it. I feel like I'm missing. I feel like
She's saying when you offer drop shipping that you get access to their client information if we want to market to them.
Oh, they're not going to do that too.
And I don't do that. I don't have time to be. I don't even have it. That's the thing. I don't have the information. All I have is the shipping information, but it's under that customer. So
right.
Yeah, no. Yeah, and there may be some that are. I don't know. I don't have
That's
time.
not the manufacturer's motive. I know that's not Gada's motive.
No, not at all. No, Gada, not for sure. Yeah, she's all. She never solicit. Yeah, we don't.
Yeah,
I don't.
She's still on. Okay. So
Yeah,
no. Don't. You can rest assured there that.
Yeah, for sure. But that's a quick way. I mean, a lot of you guys, especially if you're going to join Maxine, I don't know if you know that Catherine is in Maxine's inner circle. So I don't know if we said that in the very beginning. And she's using the Facebook group monetization training she learned with my certification.
There. Yeah. Now, Catherine, now that you're certified with Stephanie's, can you see how to create a webinar to get more people into your eczema program?
Oh, I'm already working on that.
Okay. Because I love, I mean, I just love this. I love that you guys are building this, and your virtual consultation class is phenomenal. What I hear that the takeaway from what Catherine has said, like I didn't even know there's 8 different types of eczema. Well, how many? Mm-hmm. Like, that's insane. I didn't know that. I'm like,
well, you should wait until I start talking about that you could actually have eczema in utero.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Rebecca, I just want to answer Rebecca. My appointments are anywhere from an hour to 2 hours. It depends on how much time we have and the questions that need to be covered. And it can be 1 session all the way up to 6 sessions to get paperwork finished.
Yeah, because you got to go through those 150. I mean, it's building, so you got to make sure you go through all those questions. Angela said, are they sure that they do not market to our customers? If you don't know, can you ask the ladies, have they ever had it happen to them?
I don't want to dwell on that, Angela. I really don't. I mean, I think that there's definitely, we've all had our fair share of relationships with different companies. And if you've had it happen to you, then don't partner with them anymore. I don't know.
Don't go with them.
There's enough good ones out there, there really are. And so if it happened to you, I'm sorry, but I don't know.
Rebecca said, so each follow-up is an hour. Thank you.
Yep.
Depending on severity of their eczema, right?
With those 150 questions, can you send that to them prior?
Yes. Oh, I do. I absolutely do send it to them prior digitally, and then they fill it out and send it back. But we still need to cover everything.
Because you had a client that we talked about in the 150 that she never even told you she was doing bleach baths, right? That came out. See,
Yep.
that's what I'm saying. You have a lot of information on about eczema. You have people taking bleach baths. They're dumping themselves in bleach. They're dumping their genitals in bleach. I'm telling you, there's a lot of information out there. So those 150 questions, you know, even with her asking those 150, the bleach never came up. So bleaching, because bleach baths is old school. They used to use it for eczema. They would dump children in the bleach.
They still use it for MRSA.
I know they do.
Hospitals tell, I know.
I know they do. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, people laugh at the 150, but I'm like, Catherine can tell you, I can tell you that 150 could easily be 300. Easily.
Oh yes, easily.
Depending on how they answer.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, I can see that. I can see that. So
Bleach
that's how
bath.
thorough it is. So it's a very thorough consultation. And then once you get through that, from there, it's kind of downhill. I don't want to say downhill, but then now you're on the path to recovery with them, right?
Yes, actually, I've got, I want to say 10 of the 35 are healed, but we're still in contact. I don't walk away from people once they're healed, because they're going to come to a time in their life where they are going to flare up again, or they might end up with a different flare up, or something else has happened, or, you know, they just want to remain in contact to, you know, make sure that we're doing okay.
Have you shared any of those COVID pictures in your group yet, Catherine?
I haven't yet, because I didn't want to, I have a few that are really sensitive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll get scared.
They'll get scared. So
Yeah.
I do that privately with quite a few of mine.
Got it. Okay, good. Yeah, because this is now my second COVID picture that I've done. The first one was toes. Now this one is actually doing torso. The problem I hate with those pictures is just showing just Caucasian. That's the one thing in my training. I show all colors. So not only with Celine, I show Middle Eastern, I show all different hues, because eczema shows up different on the different hue. Like Celine's eczema would not look the same if she.
Fitzpatrick. Okay.
Yeah, it's the hues are very different with the way. Like Celine won't be red. But you know, so that's one thing I don't like about those pictures that they're showing with COVID. There's no one of color. And I actually need to do research on that for people of color to see what it looks like, because it may just be dark and not red.
Yeah, that makes sense. Wow, this is, you guys, we just spent an hour and a half with you girls. Thank you.
I know.
Was this good?
And there's still people hanging too. Look, you haven't lost that many. They're still here. Oh my goodness.
There's a lot of people on still. Yeah, I love it. This has been really good.
Well, let me let everyone know. So Catherine is available if you're in my Say Skin eczema training group. She's in that group as well. She does answer a lot of questions in there. If you're already certified, she's in our certified group. She's already chatting in there as well. So you are able to reach out to her. Again, she is using both of our options here to monetize and continue to get income even during this time. So, you know, I hope that you guys definitely look at different ways and be open to this digital space, because the digital space is not going away. It's just not.
Yeah. Can I get in the group or only after the training?
My Say Skin group is open for people even if they're not training.
Oh,
It's informative. It's just for estheticians. We still have conversations in there. And then I have a separate group just for our certified folks. And those are the ones that go in and they're chatting. We welcome them. Welcome! And all of that. So I do have two different groups. So you can definitely look under Say Skin Training for estheticians. And that's a group, even if you're not certified or you don't want to take the class, but you just want to come in and look around and see what we're talking about with eczema, you can join that.
Angela's like, my name is Kendra. Why did you fill in Angela then? It's so funny. All right. Well, thanks for making me laugh. Thanks for being on with us, Catherine. Really,
yes, Catherine. Really thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
And thank you. And we'll have a replay up. It'll be, I'll email it out to everyone who signed up for.
We're doing another webinar. Do you have the date of our next webinar? When are we doing another one?
Oh, we're going to switch to a Sunday. We're going to do 2 more in June. Hang on one second.
No. We're still, we got to go to May.
May. Don't listen to me. I meant May. Hang on. It is. We are doing May 3rd and May 17th. So our next one will be May 3rd. We're going to do it on a Sunday.
Yes.
Sound good? Does a Sunday sound good to you guys?
Yep. I'm like, yep.
It gets better. So
Yeah, no, we have another one coming up. So you guys will start seeing marketing information in the digital space with our next one time. I think we're doing same time. So 3 Eastern, 2 Central on the Sunday, the 3rd.
Noon Pacific. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're going to do another one. We don't know the subject yet. Subjects right now have been coming to us. We've tried to make it very much relevant to the time.
Do you guys want to hear more on digital? You want to hear more on, I don't know. But you will be able to watch this replay again once I email it out to you. So no worries there.
Yes.
So thank you. All right, you guys have a beautiful rest of your day. Stay safe.
Bye.
Bye.